Hello, everyone. Welcome to this thesis defense session. The candidate is Mohammed Mansoor Rostami, a student at Windsor University, USA. We are so pleased to be here today for this defense session to recognize the hard work of our candidate. He studied and examined the integration of sustainable procurement practices in humanitarian operations within Afghanistan. This is a pilot study, and the principal supervisor was Dr. Rix Holiday, a very esteemed faculty member at Windsor University, and myself as the co-supervisor. For today's agenda, I will start with introductions and housekeeping. Roughly, it will take 10 minutes. Then I will share a pre-recorded presentation by the candidate, roughly 15 to 20 minutes. And the reason that we did this, because we are from all over the country, the world, and we were afraid that we might face some technical hiccups like what we had earlier. After that, we will have a question and answer session, and the questions will be directly coming from the committee members. Attendees can write their questions in the chat box. Then we will go into a break room, the committee members and myself, the moderator, for deliberation. No one will be in this room except the committee members and the moderator for roughly 20 minutes. Then we will come back to the main session for feedback and conclusion. And the last but not least, the announcement of the results. So let me, before we start, share some housekeeping points. Please adhere to the allocated time slots, respect everyone's time. Only committee members, moderator, and the candidate are allowed to speak. All attendees, please mute your microphones. Committee members and candidate, if you are not speaking, please mute your mic. Spectators, use the chat box to ask questions, and I will read these questions out loud if we get any. And please keep the questions short, sweet, and concise. And please follow the moderator instructions. I'm not a dictator. I'm just trying to have some discipline in our session and be courteous to all participants. Thank you. Also, there is a recording and sharing disclaimer. Please be advised that this defense session is being recorded. The recording will be shared on the university's official YouTube channel, other social media platforms, and the university website for educational and promotional purposes. By participating in this session, you consent to be recorded and understand that your participation may be publicly accessible. If you have any concerns about recording or sharing this session, please remove yourself from the session now. Your participation in this session signifies your acknowledgement and acceptance of this recording and sharing disclaimer. Thank you so much. So let me share with you our board members, our review board members esteemed. We will start with Dr. Mike Igbayolo. I'm sorry, Dr. Mike, I'm butchering your last name. I'm very, very sorry. So Dr. Mike is a certified business analyst, certified management consultant, and notably accredited business development services provider. He founded Accelerate Business School, an innovative enterprise institution. He has collaborated with international organizations such as Africa Leadership Forum and Ford Foundation. Dr. Mike holds a diploma in journalism, a BA in English, a postgraduate diploma in environmental resources management, and MBA and a PhD in business and organizational leadership. He's a fellow of multiple institutions and a certified Microsoft Innovative Educator. He authored the best-selling book, Guide to Entrepreneurship, Digital Literacy, Employability, and Life Skills. Thank you so much, Dr. Mike, for being here.
Yeah,
We also have Dr. Jean-Paul Francois. Dr. Francois is a seasoned financial professional with over 7 years of experience in accounting and financial management within the nonprofit and real estate sectors. He has earned a strong reputation for his ability to manage complex financial reporting and high level tasks independently, showcasing his self-motivation and teamwork skills. Dr. Francois holds a doctorate degree from Liberty University School of Business, reflecting his deep knowledge and commitment to the field. In addition to his professional achievements, he is dedicated to education, development, mentoring, and tutoring undergrads and graduate students to help them achieve their academic and career goals. Welcome, Dr. Francois. We supposed to have Dr. Khalid Ayubov. I'm not sure if he's in the meeting. I will check after I read his bio. Dr. Khalid is the Chief Information Technology Officer at Delaware County Intermediate Unit with over 20 years of IT experience, including in government sectors. He holds master's degree in information systems and adult education and training, and is a published author in cybersecurity. Dr. Khalid has spearheaded innovative strategies to enhance special education for children with special needs, blending creativity with data-driven insights. Renowned for fostering a collaborative work environment, he inspires his team to achieve exceptional results. Additionally, Dr. Khalid has over 12 years of experience as an educator, demonstrating his commitment to excellence in information technology. And we have Dr. Jeff Jaffari. So Dr. Jaffari is a versatile professional with a diverse background in hospitality, higher education, and the automotive industry, based in California. He holds a master's in industrial engineering and a doctorate in business administration. And Dr. Jaffari has over a decade of experience in the hospitality industry, managing restaurant and retail businesses, and 13 years as an educator at institutions such as Westwood College and, of course, Windsor University. He has inspired countless students and contributed to strategic decision making in educational institutions. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Jaffari. So right now, I will share with you the candidate presentation. In this presentation, you will get an overview of the thesis, the research objectives, methodologies, and the key findings. So let me share the video with you, and we will be back after the presentation.
hello and good morning, everyone. Esteemed committee and faculty members. My name is Muhammad Mansoor Rostami, and it is with great pleasure that I am presenting my master's thesis to you today. The thesis is entitled as Examining the Integration of Sustainable Procurement Practices in Humanitarian Operations within Afghanistan. Uh, Before diving into the presentation, I would like to sincerely thank Windsor University for providing this amazing opportunity. Also, I would like to thank my professors, especially my thesis mentor, Dr. Hanan Awad, for her support and guidance during this journey. Dear committee members, thank you for your valuable time and passions. To begin the presentation, I would like to mention that this presentation is divided into 5 parts, which are introduction, literature review, research methodology, data analysis and findings, and recommendations. Let's begin with the introduction. Afghanistan, a country where conflict has been ongoing for many decades, is in need of humanitarian aid within the country. This urgent task of providing assistance to millions of vulnerable individuals navigates a complex web of logistical, socio-political, and environmental obstacles. The adoption of sustainable procurement practices has emerged as a critical imperative for humanitarian organizations seeking to address the multifaceted challenges in Afghanistan. These practices entail the strategic sourcing of goods and services that minimize environmental impact, promote social equity, and foster economic resilience. I would like to mention that within the humanitarian environment in Afghanistan, integrating sustainable procurement methods is an important effort that faces complex factors and severe challenges. In order to support long-term resilience and community well-being, sustainable procurement fundamentally involves decision-making that takes into account social, environmental, economic implications in addition to immediate cost effectiveness. This research aims to answer a central question, and the question is: are sustainable procurement practices incorporated into humanitarian operations in Afghanistan? And what are the consequences for the environment, cost effectiveness, community well being, and long term resilience? The primary objective of this study is to focus on 3 separate but interconnected goals. To achieve the first goal of assessing the environmental impact, we must conduct a comprehensive analysis of the effects of the current procurement procedures used in humanitarian operations in Afghanistan. This will involve thoroughly examining the environmental impact of these practices with the ultimate goal of identifying areas for improvement and implementing mitigation techniques to reduce adverse environmental effects. The second goal is to examine resource efficiency by evaluating how resources are used in the procurement procedures of humanitarian operations. This will involve exploring how sound resources are allocated and used, also looking closely at areas where optimization can improve overall efficiency. The third objective, which is the last, is to investigate the financial consequences of incorporating sustainable purchasing techniques by analyzing cost effectiveness. These two narratives define the research hypothesis of the study. It has been claimed that sustainable procurement practices will significantly decrease environmental impacts compared to the traditional purchasing methods that are currently being used by the humanitarian operations in Afghanistan. Additionally, sustainable procurement practices are anticipated to lead to a more efficient use of resources throughout the procurement process than conventional techniques. In this section, I will go through the literature review that is done for this study. Several key findings emerged after reviewing the existing literature and incorporating sustainable procurement practices in humanitarian operations. Basically, I have reviewed more than 10 papers on supply chain sustainability that are reflected in my paper. But to save time, I will only go through the 3 most important of them. First, the evolving sustainability principles in humanitarian context. So this study suggests that in humanitarian context, the concept of sustainability has existed for quite some time. Over 3 decades have elapsed since the inception of the Do Not Harm principle, which obligates humanitarian organizations to refrain from engaging in any practices that could result in negative consequences for the environment, the economy, or society as a whole. The second study, which is going to be presented here, is promoting social and economic sustainability in humanitarian supply chains. And what I observed from this paper is that the social and economic aspects of humanitarian supply chains, in conjunction with the environmental considerations, are critical for ensuring humanitarian operations effectiveness and long-term viability. In humanitarian operations, social sustainability entails equitably allocating resources among affected populations and promoting the long-term well-being of impacted communities. The third study is advancing knowledge and sustainable procurement in humanitarian operations in Afghanistan. And this study significantly contributes to the existing knowledge on sustainable procurement practices in humanitarian operations, mainly focusing on Afghanistan's unique circumstances. And this study advances our understanding of the challenges associated with implementing sustainable practices in conflict areas such as Afghanistan by examining sustainable procurement's financial, social, and environmental aspects while considering other external factors. Due to the unavailability of statistical data on sustainable practices from humanitarian organizations in Afghanistan, this study adopts only a qualitative research approach. And this approach was chosen as it allows for a deeper exploration of perceptions, attitudes, and experiences related to sustainable procurement by the um, procurement professionals who are working in the humanitarian sector. The sampling strategy employed in this study integrates both purposive and stratified sampling techniques. And the purposive selection of humanitarian groups operating in Afghanistan is based on their relevance to the research goals and proactive participation in procurement procedures. A stratified sample approach was used to ensure the involvement of various groups, including international non governmental organizations and local non governmental organizations uh, involved in humanitarian activities in Afghanistan. In this slide, uh, I will discuss how the sample size is determined and what are the population numbers and how the sample size is calculated for this research study. Uh, First, the study population number. The study population comprises procurement professionals working in Afghanistan's international non-governmental organizations, as well as the local non-governmental organizations. And throughout the research, more than 50 procurement professionals from 10 different organizations were approached for data collection purpose. And how the sample size was calculated? The sample size was calculated based on the principles of qualitative research, as discussed earlier, particularly the concept of data saturation. Um, I use data saturation because no new information or themes emerged from additional data collection. So, what were the data collection methods? The primary data collection methods included semi-structured interviews with uh, key stakeholders and a survey distributed to procurement professionals within humanitarian organizations operating in Afghanistan. Semi-structured interviews allowed for an in-depth exploration of individuals' perspectives, while the survey provided broader insights into the prevalence and perceptions of sustainable procurement practices across organizations. And combining these methods enriched the collected data and ensured a comprehensive understanding of our research topic. And data analysis and findings includes challenges in implementing sustainable procurement practices, and there are numerous challenges that are listed as you can see. The first is limited access to digital infrastructure and technology. Afghanistan lacks robust digital infrastructure, which hinders efficient procurement processes in general terms. And we know that without proper technology, organizations struggle uh, to track and manage sustainability metrics. Uh, the second challenge is resource constraints. Scarce funds and limited resources pose challenges for investing in sustainability projects in Afghanistan. And the third challenge is the gap of knowledge. Stakeholders and procurement experts in Afghanistan unfortunately lack awareness of sustainability concepts. The next challenge is scarcity of sustainable suppliers and goods. Unfortunately, marketplaces in Afghanistan have limited options for sustainable products and suppliers, and organizations face difficulties in sourcing eco friendly materials. Inadequate regularity frameworks is another great challenge uh, because there are weak or inconsistent regulations in place which hinder adherence to sustainability norms. And there are no clear guidelines and enforcement mechanisms in the uh, humanitarian organizations in Afghanistan. Socio-political instability and conflict is another challenge. Um, in countries like Afghanistan, conflict disrupts supply chain and hampers sustainable practices. Um, Also, humanitarian operations face additional challenges due to these security risks. And the last and final section is the recommendations that I have incorporated into my thesis paper. These recommendations are based on the conclusions drawn from the literature review and the qualitative data analysis, which examined sustainable procurement practices within humanitarian organizations in Afghanistan, especially addressing the challenges that we discussed earlier. The recommendations are based on the motivators, challenges, and current state of sustainable procurement practices in Afghanistan. The first thing that I recommend is to enhance awareness and training in humanitarian organizations. I believe that organizations can cultivate a culture of environmental and social responsibility among staff members, vendors, and other stakeholders by educating them about the significance of sustainability in procurement. Uh, the next recommendation is to translate policy into practice. I believe that translating policy into practice is instrumental in boosting sustainability in procurement by providing a clear framework for action and accountability. Uh, also believe that organizations should enhance technology innovation, and collaboration, because technology is essential to transforming sustainable procurement practices, especially where reducing paperwork is a top concern nowadays in modern world. Uh, I believe that organizations may should increase sustainability and efficiency and streamline processes by utilizing digital solutions such as blockchain for supply chain transparency, AI for predictive analytics, and also cloud-based platforms for collaborative procurement management. Forming strategic alliances can also help a lot. As I observed throughout my research, 70% of participants reported difficulties such as low supplier engagement and the need for more in house expertise. And they mentioned about the financial constraints. So, to overcome these obstacles, humanitarian organizations in Afghanistan should consider forming strategic alliances with other governmental and non governmental organizations and trade associations around the world. Uh, so, these collaboration can provide access to resources and to help address common challenges and offer maybe mutual support and risk sharing opportunities. Also believe that organizations should go towards uh, being being more concerned about the strategic advantage of sustainability than being concerned about the compliance issue, uh, because I believe that organizations should see sustainable procurement as a strategic tool for risk management, innovation, and competitive advantage rather than just compliance obligation. Uh, Crucial first action in this direction, I believe, is to include uh, actively to interact with suppliers and promote sustainable innovation and work across industries to create new standards and maybe offer certifications for sustainable goods or suppliers that produce or provide sustainable goods. Uh, the last recommendation that I would like to make is to uh, build key performance indicators for comprehensive measurement. Uh, Key performance indicators provide a framework for setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound sustainability goals, uh, especially within procurement processes. By defining KPIs related to social, economic, and environmental factors, organizations can track and evaluate their performance against the established targets and drive continuous improvement and accountability. Thank you very much for taking your time and listening to my presentation. I would be very delighted to answer to any question that you may have. Thanks again.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to correct unintended mistake. I was not aware that Dr. Michelle Rucker is one of our committee members, the esteemed committee members. So, Dr. Michelle, you deserve a big welcome. Thank you so much for being here. A quick introduction of Dr. Michelle. She is known as the Red Bird, and she is the CEO of Transforming Our Practice and Brown STEM Incorporated. She has over 21 years in education, 10 years in nonprofit administration, and 10 years as an entrepreneur. She is an experienced instructional leadership and diversity, equity, and inclusion coach. And she is specializing in transformational leadership and performance coaching and diversity, equity, inclusion. Certified practitioner. Thank you so much, Dr. Michelle, for being here. And I apologize again. I was not aware that you are one of the committee members. So now, after listening to the candidate presentation, I will open the floor for our committee members to ask the candidate. So, Mansoor, you are still in the meeting. Mansoor?
Yes, Professor.
Yes, please switch on your camera. And we will start with Dr. Michelle as an apology for the unintended mistake.
No worries, Dr. Awad. Thank you so much for this awesome opportunity. Mansoor, thank you so much for guiding us through your defense. My question is, when you were doing your data analysis, was there any surprising information that was illuminated through that data analysis?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Wako. Yes, during data collection process, one of the surprises for me was that there was a huge gap of knowledge in the field. So most of the procurement professionals that I discussed with were not very much knowledgeable about the procurement sustainability. So it was not being practiced, and also no one was very much, I could say, an expert in the field of procurement sustainability. So this was one of the big surprises for me, and that's why I included into the paper and wanted to work it on.
Okay.
Dr. Michelle, do you have other questions to the
No,
candidate?
not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Mike?
Yes, thank you very much. Mohammed, that's a very brilliant presentation. I want to congratulate you for taking time to conduct that study. I want to find out, how did you validate your research instruments? That is one. I have two other questions for you. Two, what informed your choice for the sample population that you chose for this study? That's the second question. You can note the questions. And then the third question is, what remarkable contribution do you think your thesis would make into the field of procurement management, procurement practice generally? So what unique body of knowledge will your thesis bring into procurement practice? So those are my questions for you, Mohammed. Thank you. You are muted. You are muted.
Very sorry. Thank you very much, Mr. Igbayelo. So the purpose for this for conducting this research study was because I'm working in the field, in the procurement field. I'm working in one of the international humanitarian organizations in Afghanistan by the name of International Rescue Committee. So I'm working as a procurement officer there, and this was because it's a day-to-day activity for me, being involved in procurement activities. I was always concerned about the sustainability issue. So that's why I chose this research topic. And so I wanted to learn about it, and also maybe in future I could make a contribution from this paper. So the contribution, how I will make contribution, hopefully, because I'm working in the field, and maybe in future, if I have management, hopefully management positions. So that's when I can put into practice my knowledge gained from this study. So that's when I can make a contribution. Also, one of the contributions that I can make at the moment is to share my paper with procurement professionals, share the link to the study, and let them know about the topic, and let them know about the what concerns are there and what challenges are there, and make them to know about this topic and work on it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
So, Dr. Mike, do you have any other questions?
Well, he didn't tell me how he validated his research instruments.
Okay, would you please, Mansoor, address this for your pilot study?
Sorry, Professor?
Could you answer these questions for your pilot study?
Yes, thank you. So I would like to start from data collection method. So as I discussed in the presentation, that I gathered the information from multiple sources, surveys and interviews, and also I conducted researches through internet. So how I validated is that I saw that the information gathered, or the information interviews, are almost the same. So from multiple sources, I saw that the information match, and the discussions or the topics or the details that they provided to me was somehow similar to one another. So that's how I validated my data collection.
All right, good. That's fine.
Thank you so much. Now, please, Dr. Jeff Jafari, if you have any questions to the candidate or the candidate.
Could you explain to me what is a thesis?
Dr. Jafari, thank you very much for the question. So thesis is a statement, or we can say that a statement that you make to a statement that you make to prove something, something
Okay.
right or wrong. So this is how I understand from the word thesis. That is what I understand.
You are absolutely correct. I read your paper word by word, and in fact, in each page, I made some comments. But that's not the point. That's for you.
That's very valuable. Thank you. I would be very
I'm going to
happy
email it back to you, so it's all highlighted. Then I went back and read it again. Frankly, you presented a lot of information, but you didn't really say or write what you just told me. a thesis statement. Well, actually, what's a thesis? But you started from the top. You said you're making a statement and you want to prove it. You did not do that at all. The writing was good. I was attracted to it and I kept reading it and said, wow, good information, good information. But I was just trying to get to, for example, how you validate. Let me ask, there's a formula for that. You know that, right? How you validate your research methodology, how you validate your data, how you validate your analysis. And frankly, I just saw you writing a report rather than a thesis. You kept writing and writing, and you were right on the point also in all the sections. One of the things I do beside, my work and what I do for Windsor University, I have a business, and my business is helping PhD and doctorate student write their thesis or their dissertation, and I get paid handsomely for that. That's what I do. And since I've done it several times, it's just when I read it 41 page thesis, I need like 20% concrete data, numbers, qualitative, quantitative, and then the other 20% would be like a literature review. You quote from this and from that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just didn't see that in your paper. A lot of nice writing. A lot of, as I said, every section you explained. In literature review, you tried in introduction, in analysis, in data collection, but I didn't see no data. I didn't see no analysis.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you very
So,
much.
this is something
It's a
that
very
you
good
might
comment.
want to work on. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it's a very good comment. Thank you. I will just note it down. So maybe one of the reasons for that is that I really could not find accurate data on the internet, or I could not be provided by the procurement professionals here. So the data I received was all the statements, not numbers.
Yeah.
So that's why
Give me a call when you're done. I'm going to help you.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
going to
Thank
be a
you very
lot
much.
easier than what you think.
Okay.
You know,
Sure. Thank you very
I'm
much.
going to help you directly. And then you're going to say, "Wow," because you've done 50% of the work. The other 50% is the hardcore data, hardcore analysis. Understanding what is qualitative research. What is that methodology that you use in terms of qualitatively? Quantitatively. I mean, you used both approach, the mixed method. That's what you did. You started with qualitative, then at some point you mentioned, oh, you need, to also use qualitative. I mean, qualitative, then quantitative. But then again, I was looking for, for something, I interviewed 50 people, and these are the results. I had 10 questions asking them to fill out yes or no, or right or wrong, or whatever the case is. Then I added, all the answers, and yeah, that's 50 answers. 50, say each one of them had to answer 4 different things in each question. That's 200 replies. You could use that, even if I mean, for study like that, you need to interview. I mean, you have to look at your subject to see how many people or how much data and what kind of data you have to collect. And that's something that you keep talking about it, but I mean, anybody could stop me and say, "Hey, he did that in page 38, page 42," but I didn't see those. But again, give me a call. I'm going to help you on that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jafari. Please, Mansoor, note these points. I was just highlight that Mansoor approached 50 people, but not all the people he approached answers. Actually, it ended up only 10 professionals answering the questions. Thank you so much. Okay, now we have Dr. Francois. So please, Dr. Francois, address your questions to the candidate.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Mansoor, on achieving such a nice paper. And I read your document, and it's very well written. And that was very impressive. And Dr. Jafari just went on the point that the only concern that I have with the paper, because I see that it's that was my question also. It seems more for the methodology. It's a mixed method that would be suit this subject more, because when you're talking about that procurement practices in that industry, you would find, because you have a lot of aids coming, you would find a lot of, for example, a lot of money coming in. So you would need those statistics to know what percentage is what's going on in the industry. So if you don't find that in Afghanistan, but you could go in the industry at large or similar countries in the region. So all this, since Afghanistan, you don't find that data there, your research would be kind of an original piece to help future researchers that's gonna come like you did today, to find more, to start finding data on the procurement practices over there. But on the overall, this is a nice paper, but the mixed method would be the best, in my opinion, to go with it, because you need the qualitative part and you need the quants. So my only questions are, do you think that your paper will help future researchers finding more information in the industry in Afghanistan?
Thank you very much, Doctor, for the comments. So if I'm not, if I understood it correctly, the question was that if my paper will make a future contribution?
Yes.
Hopefully, I'm hopeful with that, because as I said, that I'm working in the field, in procurement field, and I want other procurement professionals to be aware of this this topic, the procurement sustainability. So hopefully in future I can be in any management role that I can implement these activities, or these the things that I learned from my paper. And also another contribution that I can make is to share with my paper with procurement professionals to be informed.
All right, thank you. So, and as the Dr. Jafari already offered you the help, just having some quantitative data in there would bring the most improvement on the paper. That's already a nice piece of writing. And congratulations. And so thank you for presenting.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your time. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Francois. I believe, Dr. Michella, you have some points to share with the candidates or some questions.
Mansoor, I'm going to apologize up front. This is my first time doing this. I'm honored to be a part of it, but was not sure the format. But I do have some things to share. I definitely concur with Dr. Jafari. Your data collection was not clear to me. I also thought about, because you did have some charts in there, that some visuals or diagrams, figures or diagrams would have been helpful to make the data clearer. When I wrote my dissertation, that was a requirement, and I think for your work it'd be helpful, especially when you share that, as you said, with other procurement professionals, for them to see it really clear, this data that you collected. The other thing is, in your literature review, it's pretty much required to have seminal authors to connect to your claims that you're making. That's pretty much what the literature review is what's out there, even if it's limited. When I did my dissertation topic, for example, it's very limited, but I still really pressed hard to find seminal authors who could give that baseline for theoretical framework, and also to support the claims that I was making as a scholar researcher in my particular field. And as you're doing, as someone who works in the field, you need to really show that really clearly through getting seminal authors, and then recent literature within the time period, whatever the time period at Windsor University for your years, if it's 5 years, which most schools allow within that time period. I think your research methodology, again, not sure. Once again, I had in my notes here, if it is mixed methods or qualitative or quantitative, you have aspects of both. And if it is, you need to reflect that within your study. If it's mixed methods, specifically say that, and then delineate, I'm doing, qualitative and quantitative, and specifically what you're doing, but then your data analysis needs to represent that. So those were some of the notes I made when I reviewed your paper. There are definitely some great strengths there. I thought your conclusion was very thorough and comprehensive. I could definitely hear your voice as a research scholar, but I think there are some foundational points or criteria that are missing to make it comprehensive, almost to what's been said. A lot of the work is there, but there needs to be more work there to make it really strong, to be able to share with the community that you mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rooker, for the good comments. I will note them down and consider them in the future.
Yeah, and I'll send the review form that they sent me. I'll send it through, I guess, Sarah, and make sure she gets it to you, so that way you have the list. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michelle. I think now it's time to go into our breakout session, breakout room. This room only for the review, committee members. I'm setting it up now, and I am okay. We have Dr. Jafari, Dr. Francois, Dr. Michelle, and Dr. Mike. Okay, and the rest will be in a separate room. Please go into your rooms now.
We lost everyone else.
Yes, they're still there. They did not return.
Yeah, up at the top it just says return to main room. Where are you in Africa right now?
No, I'm in New York.
Oh, you're in New York. Oh, okay.
Yes. What about you? Where are you?
I'm in Florida.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you. Yeah, probably I think what probably lets me go back in the breakout room. They think when you say return all, you would just click it, return everybody. That's probably what happened. Let me go back to.
I'm gonna just stay here. Dr. Mikey went. Dr. Francois wants to act everybody know how to come into this room. So hopefully we'll get everybody back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Are you in Africa right now, or are you in the States?
I'm in Nigeria.
Oh, you're in Nigeria. Oh, I love Nigeria. That's actually the projects I'm trying to work on. My work is in education, trying to do a school with the States and Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, she's coming. She will exit and us back in the.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So I think we are all in the main room. No, I don't think that we are all in the main room. I think, okay, I think I need to switch off the main, okay. Okay, now we have the candidate, or not yet. Mansoor is here.
Not. Oh, he's here now.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Mansoor, you are here. So let me share my screen and. Okay, and welcome back, everyone. Now we are finished the committee deliberation, and I will invite the committee members, the esteemed committee members, to give their final remarks to Mansoor, to the candidate, and then I will pronounce the final decision. So I will invite Dr. Michella.
Thank you, Dr. Awad. Mansoor, your master's thesis has a lot of the components you need there. Once you receive the feedback from us, do not get overwhelmed because everything's there. Just need to tighten it up to make it stronger and to make it more of a qualitative study. But I have all the confidence that you'll be able to do that to just make it a stronger thesis. But thank you so much for sharing, and I'm so glad I was a part of your defense session.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Mike?
All right, Mohammed, congratulations. Your thesis seems logical and very specific, and you demonstrated a very good understanding of procurement procedures. And then the angle of sustainability that you have brought in is quite interesting. At the same time, you need to ensure that you make it more qualitative and then improve on your data collection. And also, when you're done looking at your literature review, try as much as possible to come up with your own theory that would look at sustainability and procurement. The whole essence of writing a master's project is to contribute something new to the body of knowledge. So don't just critique other people's literature without taking time to come up with something that is unique, to you, that you can say that yes, you have contributed this to the body of knowledge. So, and then the other areas, other review board members will also point to you. So congratulations, and do the corrections. I'm sure at the end of the day, we'll get what you want. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so much.
much.
Dr. Jafari? Okay. Dr. Jafari, do you have final remarks for the candidate?
I don't think Dr. Jafari returned back into the screen. Huh?
Oh, yeah, but no one in the breakout room. Okay. Well, I'm not sure why he's not here. Okay. So, Dr. Francois?
Thank you, Dr. Howard. Mansoor, congratulations on your research paper. As we discussed in the breakout room, this is a well-written paper, but the only thing, as we mentioned to you prior, so it has more. It is more of a mixed method study, but with some major correction. So as we discussed with Dr. Howard, you can choose two different routes. Either you stick with the qualitative method you intend to do. In order to do that, so in your statement, your main statement, you would need to remove some words that necessitate the quantitative data. So we will provide you with that feedback. So if you want to, as Dr. Jafari wants to work with you also, so that means you would go with the mixed method. You would dive into collecting the quantitative data. So that's Dr. Howard in the student affair probably will work with you on that also to decide whether you're going with the qualitative data, just reformat your main statement, or if you go into the wild with the mixed method to work with Dr. Jafari to redo a lot of it. So other than that, so this is a well-written paper, and congratulations on your efforts, and welcome to the world of research.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you so much. So now it's turn to announce the results, and I will announce the results. So on behalf of the Defense Committee, the Defense Review Committee, I announced that the committee has reached a decision regarding the thesis presented by the candidate Mohammed Mansoor Rostami in partial fulfillment of the requirements for the MBA program provided by Windsor University, US. The decision is accepted with major revisions. The detailed comments and recommendations from each committee member regarding this thesis and required revisions will be communicated with the candidate. As revisions are required, the candidate must submit the revised thesis by the end of August 2024 to the committee for final approval. Once the committee members and the university receive the updated or the revised document, we will have a quick meeting, not publicly shared, to finalize the final approval and the final decision. Thank you so much. It's been a roller coaster, but at the end, it paid off. Thank you so much for the esteemed committee members. I am honored to be working with such an esteemed team. Thank you so much for our spectators and attendees. Thank you so much for our candidate, Mohammed Mansoor Rostami. And I hope that we will see our committee members in future research and future defense. Thank you so much. Now we will adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Professor?
Wait, I'll stop recording.